Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want to welcome you to the July 18th, 2020 Vinyl Treasure Show. It's my all 50s and early 60s original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We opened up tonight's show with Cecil James McNeely, a.k.a. Big J McNeely, and his first of 8 on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. The song was called The Goof. And he's basically known for his honking tenor sax style. Has some earlier releases on the exclusive Aladdin, Savoy labels. Also, he was on Bayou, VJ, and later Swinging. But that one there from October 1952, Big J McNeely and his orchestra on the Gold Top Federal on that one. Song entitled The Goof. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's open up the vocal portion. We open up with the very first release for Little Anthony, a.k.a. Anthony Guardine. And he was a lead singer of a group called the DuPonts. They were from Brooklyn, New York. This one on Paul Winley's Winley label. We go back to August 1956. We open up with the DuPonts on Winley. It's called Must Be Falling in Love.
Boom, 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 boom.
Jump me, tree, go the birds in the tree, please. Oh, what happened to me? Gee, I must be falling in love. Come on, you guys and gals, gather round. I'm gonna tell you what I found. I found that I'm falling in love.
Is there a doctor in the house? Or is it so loud? Every time I look at her, my head goes spinning around.
Oh, my friend, don't you know that I must be falling in
Doctor in the house, my heart is beating loud. Every time I look at her, my head goes spinning around.
my friend, don't you know that I must be falling in love? Love, 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 must be falling in love. Must be falling in love. Falling in love.
Yeah, we open up with the debut single there for the DuPonts. Little Anthony on lead, Anthony Guardine on lead there, August 1956. The DuPonts on the Blue Winley label, a song entitled Must Be Falling in Love. Now, Paul Winley, he would sell the master of this to Herman Lubinsky, owner of Savoy Records, and Herman re-released it, adding lots more instrumentation, and I think he shortened it too. He edited it a little bit, and came out in 1958 on Savoy Records, trying to capitalize on the Imperials' hit of Tears on My Pillow on the N label. So if that one sounded a little bit empty, that's how it originally came out. The Savoy release has a lot more instrumentation in the background. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Glad you can join me for my 1950s and early 60s show. Next week, it's the all 60s edition. It's the last Saturday of the month, but tonight, 1950s records. Let's continue here. And speaking of Savoy, the label had a big #2 R&B hit by Nappy Brown. It was called Don't Be Angry, and a West Coast group decided to cover the song, and it became their debut single on the Bahari Brothers Modern record label. This one features Aaron Collins on lead. We go back to April 1955. These are the Cadets on the Modern label with their rendition of the tune, Don't Be Angry.
my darling, I wanna hurt you again. So don't be angry. Well, hear what I say. Well, give me a chance, dear. Please don't you drive me away. Chance to prove my love is true. You won't regret it, dear, but I'll make it up to you. So don't be angry. Please hear what I say. Well, give me a chance, dear. Please don't drive me away. Don't drive me away. Don't drive me well. Don't drive me well. Don't drive me well.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Cadets. The Cadets, April 1955 on the Bahari Brothers Modern record label. Their rendition of the Nappy Brown tune, Don't Be Angry. Kind of a little bit slower than Nappy's release. Now, around the same time, another West Coast group called The Feathers released their song called Why Don't You Write Me. Came out on the Showtime label, and the Bahari Brothers thought that it would be a great song for the Cadets to record, but not to compete with this record that was currently out on the charts, Don't Be Angry. They put that record out. They recorded Why Don't You Write Me and decided to put it out as the Jacks, and it was released on the modern sisters label RPM Records. So they were really one of the first groups, along with the Moonglows, to have two records out at the same time under different names. I think the Moonglows and the Moonlighters, and here you go with the Jacks and the Cadets. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. We count down the music chronologically here on the 1950s, early 60s edition. Lots of requests tonight. We're going to open up with a request for Pat, and I also want to send this one out to Laura Wooten. This is one of her favorite tunes. This group is out of Harlem, New York. It's their first of three on the Atlantic label. It features Harold Sonny Wright on lead. We go back to December 1952. We started off from 52. Give a listen to the Diamonds on the Atlantic label, and their classic tune. It's called A Beggar for Your Kisses.
I'm standing at your door, and all I'm waiting for is just a little sympathy. I'm just a beggar for your kisses, a beggar for your kisses. Can't you spare a little love from me? My heart is patched and torn, my pride's a little worn. Oh, where's your generosity? I'm just a beggar for your kisses, a beggar for your kisses. Can't you spare a little love for me? Now I don't ask for all your love, a little insignificant bit would do. Yes, it would mean so much to me, although I know it means nothing to you. You have so much to give, I don't need much to live, or do it just for charity. I'm just a beggar for your kisses, a beggar for your kisses. Can't you spare a little love for me? Oh, I don't ask for all of your love. have so much to give. I don't need much to live. Oh, do it just for charity. I'm just a beggar for your kisses. A beggar for your kisses. Can't you spare a little love for me?
By request going out to Pat. Also send that one out to Laura Wooten. Those are the Great Diamonds. December 1952. Harold Sunning right on lead on the Yellow and Black Atlantic record label. Mine has a BB hole in it, although it plays pretty nice. Doesn't really affect the play. A Beggar for Your Kisses is the name of that one. I even have another copy of that, believe it or not. And a Mint 78, too, on that record. Now, Sonny was also the lead for a group called the Regals. They also recorded for the Atlantic label. And also the Metronomes. The Metronomes, they recorded two great sides on Archie Blier's Cadence label. Yes, group harmony on the Cadence label. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here. And on last week's Vinyltreasure show, I played a request for the doo-wop couple Ron and Dorothy. Featured the Cardinals on Atlantic and their version of the Wheel of Fortune. I think it was Rockin' Ed in our YouTube chat room. He asked if I could play the flip, which did get some airplay down south. The Atlantic brass wanted Wheel of Fortune for the A-side, but the disc jockeys started to flip this record over. So this one was popular down south this side. So we're going to send it out to Rockin' Ed. We're going to give a listen to the Cardinals here. January 1952. We stay on the Atlantic label. Twin spin on Yellow Atlantics. The Cardinals with Kiss Me Baby.
When you smile
January of 52 release there for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are out of Baltimore, Maryland. Recorded for the Atlantic folks. Kiss Me Baby going out to Rockin' Ed, who is in our YouTube chat room. He's watching Johnny G on his TV. Is that your iTV, Ed, that you're watching me on? Anyway, let's continue here. We move into 1953. Actually, we're going to send this one out to Joel Schwartz, who enjoys the early sides. And this group first recorded back in 1942 on the RCA Bluebird label. I think I have a bunch of their 78s on Bluebird, but they had other releases that came out on Victor, Atlas, Mercury, and Apollo. Now, this is their last appearance on a record as this group. First recorded this song back in 1947, came out on the Apollo record label on a 78. Then in 1953, a group called the Hilltoppers had a big hit with this song on the Dot label, and the song was called P.S. I Love You. And Apollo decided to re-release this to coincide with the Hilltoppers' hit at the time, and they put it out on the on their Lloyd's label, a subsidiary of Apollo Records. And we're going to send this one out to Joel Schwartz. This one here features John Jordan on lead from July 1953. They're called the Four Vagabonds. The Four Vagabonds on the Lloyd's label. It's a real early sound here. Their version of P.S. I Love You.
Dear, I thought I'd drop a line. The weather's cool, though folks are fine. I'm in bed each night at 9. P.S. I love you. Yesterday we had some rain, but on the whole I can't complain. Was it dusty on the train? P.S. I love you. Ride to the Browns just as soon as you're able. They came around to call. I burned a hole in the dining room table. Now let me see. Guess that's all. Nothing more for me to say, and so I'll close. Oh, by the way, everybody's thinking of you. P.S. I love you. Everybody's thinking of you. P.S. I love you.
Yeah, That's an early side there. We'll send that one out to Joel Schwartz there. The Four Vagabonds originally recorded that on Apollo Records on a 78 in 1947. I have that 78. Then Apollo released it on their Lloyd subsidiary July 1953 to compete with the Hilltoppers' Dot release. The Four Vagabonds there with their version of P.S. I Love You. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. We move into 1954 with a group from Asbury Park, New Jersey. They have this release on Flap Hanford's After Hours label. And the group is instrumentation is by the Eddie Swanston Quartet. It features Bobby Thomas on lead. They're called the Vibranaires. The Vibranaires here. We go back to July 1954 on the After Hours label, and their tune called Ooh, I Feel So Good.
Baby, I'm so glad you told me I don't have to cry no more. Well, I'm so glad you told me I don't have to cry no more. Feel so fine since you told me, baby, I don't have to cry no more. Well, it's right back, 'cause tomorrow we may be gone. Well, let's rock them back, 'cause tomorrow we may be gone. I'm higher than a Georgia pine, hats on the side of my head. Feel so fine since you told me, baby, I don't have to cry no more. I'll give everybody in the joint a taste of two and charge it to me.
Keep the juices flowing this morning.
Give me the check about 3:30. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, I feel so good. Ooh, 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 ooh. A dilly, 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 a dilly. Everybody in the joint take it to and charge it to me.
Keep the juices flowing this morning.
Give me the check about 3:30. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, I feel so good. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Thank you, George, for that correction. I had the information on here was for the doll face, was not the right lead, was the right lead on this one, the Vibranaires. George posted it on Jimmy Roche. He's the lead singer on that one. I apologize for that. Ooh, I Feel So Good. He's the bass of the group. The Vibranaires, July 1954 on the After Hours record label. That was actually the flip side to the classic Doll Face. That is a great tune. And the group was managed by Esther Navarro, by the way, before she managed the Cadillacs. And these 45s, they only come on red vinyl. They do only on red vinyl, and that's how mine is. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. Let's continue here. Up next, a request for Joe Shacatano. And this 45, actually, this song was only available on a 78, which I do have on a 78. Came out on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy record label, but he made it available to the early collectors of records in 1961. You can go into Times Square Records in 61 and buy this on a 45. It's on the Buzzy label, which was named after his son, Buzzy Lubinsky. This initially came out on Savoy 1104. It was written by the lead singer. His name is Louis Van Dyke. This is an early side. It's going out to Joe Shacatano. We go back to September 1953. They are the Imperials, a.k.a. the Gaylords, on that Savoy release on the Buzzy label. It's called You Should Have Told Me.
You should have told me that you were in love with me, that you really cared for me. Then I would have known. You should have made sure that what you were saying, it was not a game you were playing. Then I would have known. But maybe it's not too late for me to say I love you, and things could have been different, my dear, if I had only known. You should have told me that you were in love with me, that you really cared for me. Then I would have known.
That's by request for Joe Shacatano there. Early side there by a group, at least on this Buzzy label, they're called the Imperials. I have it on a 78 by the Gaylords, but they're called the Imperials on this Buzzy 45, September 1953. You Should Have Told Me. Actually, that record was recorded May 23rd, 1952. Anyway, Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Let's move into 1954 with a group out of Atlanta, Georgia. They had 4 releases on Sid Nathan's Deluxe label. Let's give a listen to their second. Features Eddie Harris on lead. We go to June of 1954. These are the Blue Dots. The Blue Dots on Deluxe. It's called Don't Hold It.
Didn't your mama tell you that romance is good? A young man or a young girl should get all the loving that comes your way. Tomorrow don't count what you do today. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up. Give me what I need, please have mercy, please. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up. She looked at me, she did. I trembled, I did. I said, don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up. Give me what I need, please have mercy, please. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up. You better get your loving while you're finding young. You ain't lived, baby, till you've been stung. Why do you call me your honey bee? You want some for my heart, I just can't see. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, Don't hold it, give it up. You better get your loving while you're fine and young. You ain't lived, baby, till you've been stung. Why do you call me your honey bee? You want some for my hunt, I just can't see. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up. You'll be what I need. Please have mercy, please. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up. Don't hold it, give it up.
Yeah, those are the Blue Dots. The Blue Dots out of Atlanta, Georgia, on Sid Nathan's deluxe record label. That is their second release, song entitled Don't Hold It, from June 1954. Featured Eddie Harris on lead. Now, he would go on to join the Checkers on King, and these same Blue Dots, they would have another release on the Ace label in 1957, but a Grover Mitchell, who had previously sang with the Cashmeres, he would come in and do lead on that release, and they would have one more, I think, on the NRC label in 1958. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, here's a request for George Tompkins for this vocal quartet from Los Angeles, California. It came out on Benny Ray's Blend label, who gets writer credit on this song. It features Ben Hughes on lead. Send this one out to George Tompkins in our YouTube chat room. March 1955 now. They're called the Chromatics. The Chromatics on Blend. It's called Believe Me.
Believe me, believe what I say. I love you forever this way. Believe me, I'm so in love with you. I've always been waiting for you. I'm hoping that you're waiting too, my darling. I've only wanted you, only want you. There's hunger in my heart for love I want from you. Be kind and ease my heart pains. Be kind and I'll be too. Believe me, I care my whole life. With you I would share. Believe me, I'm so in love with you. In love with you. There's hunger in my heart, dear, for love I want from you. Be kind and ease my heart pains. Be kind and I'll be too. Believe me, I care my whole life. With you I would share. Believe me, I'm so in love with you. In love with you.
Those are the Chromatics. The Chromatics on the Blend label, going out to George Tompkins. March 1955. It's called Believe Me. And this is the same Chromatics group with releases on the Million label. They got releases on Crest. They got releases on Real. They were backing up Bob Williams, I think, on Blend, and this Julius Savoy. A lot of those recordings are pretty rare, which I do have. I think I have all their releases on the Real label. I'll get them on a future Vinyl Treasure show. Johnny G here. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. Got a big crowd in the YouTube chat room. Hope you're digging on those views of the labels. Lots of cool labels in the 1950s. And up next, this gal, her real name is Margaret Hoffler, but she's from Norfolk, Virginia. In 1950, she joined up with the Griffin Brothers, recording on the Dot label, but she left them in 1952 to join the Floyd Dixon Combo as a featured vocalist. She has releases on Dot and Decca before she signed with the Atlantic label, and the subsidiary Cat released this 45 with her group called the Blues Destroyers. I don't think, well, yeah, they're a vocal group. I think they're backing her up on this. So let's give a listen to Margie Day and her Blues Destroyers, September 1955 on Cat Records. It's called Ho Ho. Ho Ho.
Ho ho. Ho ho. Ho ho. Ho ho.
My baby calls me honey lover, turtle dove. Then he whispers, you're the only one I love. Ho ho. Ho ho. Oh, well, I love my daddy-o. Well, some got a Henry, some got a Jim. They can keep them all because I got him. Oh, 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 well, I love my daddy-o. Well, if it feels like a talking, I'm gonna talk. Well, if it feels like a walking, I'm gonna walk. Oh, 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 oh. Well, I love my daddy-o. Kiss me, then again he don't. Sometimes he wants to hug me, then again he won't. Oh, 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 oh. Well, I love my daddy-o. Say, why do I love him? Well, now, I don't know, but he does something that fills me so. Oh, 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 oh. Well, I love my daddy-o. Oh, 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 oh.
September 1955 release there from Margie Day and her Blues Destroyers. What a cool name that is for a group. That one there on the Cat label, song entitled Ho Ho. As we continue here ho-hoing through, hopefully Johnny G will not be losing his voice. My brother told me that maybe I have asthma. When the air gets heavy, I have trouble like breathing. I really do. So it's possible allergy. See that? I want to start my coughing frenzy. Let's continue here. We are in the year 1955, but sometime in June of 1955, two members of the Hollywood Flames, David Ford and Gaynell Hodge, joined Jesse Belvin and Gaynell's brother Alex to form a group called the Tangiers. They would sign with Decca Records for 2 releases. Let's give a listen to their first, which features David Ford on lead. This one, we go back to August 1955. The Tangiers here on Decca, their tune called Tabarin.
Met her, Tabarin. Yes, I met her at the Tabarin on a lonely autumn night. We were dancing to a starlight dream. I was holding her so tight. Even now I hear her lovely voice as I pleaded for her hand. Couples dancing near me saw my tears, and they seemed to understand. She sighed and whispered softly, I'll swear by the moon above, I cannot break my promise. There is another love. Now I come back to the Tabarin, watching other loves begin. How can I forget my only love that I lost at Tabarin? Well, she sighed and whispered softly,
I love you.
there is another love. Now I come back to the Tabarin, watching other loves begin. How can I forget my only love that I lost at Tabarin?
That's David Ford on lead with the Tangiers. August 1955, featured it on the Decca label, their tune called Tabarin. And this song was co-written by Murray Wilson. Murray Wilson, the father of Beach Boy Brian Wilson. Song was recorded earlier. I have it on a 78 on the Fidelity label by the Four Flames back in November of 51 with David Ford, who was on lead on that release too. You should pull that 78 out as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. And last week I featured the Mellow Harps, a group from Brooklyn, New York. I played the B-side to their second release. Came out on the Tin Pan Alley. It was called Gone. So let's give a spin to the intended A-side before this one goes back down in the No Humidity basement. It again features the high falsetto voice of Vernon Staley. This one from February 1956. We move into 1956 now on Tin Pan Alley Records. These are the Mellow Harps with What Good Are My Dreams?
Please tell me, please tell me
Harps. Those are the Mellow Harps. The Mellow Harps on the Tin Pan Alley record label, February 1956 release. What Good Are My Dreams is the name of that one. Let's continue here. Here's another request for Joe Shacatano. As we stay in Brooklyn, New York for this group, they had 8 releases on the Glory label. They also backed up 2 other artists on the label, Tony Banks and Betty McLaurin. I think she has 3 or 4 on there with them backing her up. But their signature song would have to be Soldier Boy, which was their second release. Now, Joe requested their 7th, which is a cover of an Eddie Arnold tune, believe it or not, and it features Jimmy McGowan on lead. So we're going to send this one out to Joe Shacatano, September 1956. The Four Fellows on the Glory label, and their rendition of the tune, You Don't Know Me.
You give your hand to me, and then you said hello, and I can hardly speak. My heart is beating so, and anyone can tell. You think you know me well, but you don't know me. No, you don't know the one who dreams of you at night and longs to kiss your lips and longs to hold you tight. To you I'm just a friend, that's all I've ever been. But you don't know me. You don't know me. For I never knew the art of making love, though my heart ached with love for you. Afraid and shy, I let my chance go by, the chance you might have loved me too. You give your hand to me, and then you say goodbye. I watched you walk away beside the lucky guy, to never, never know the one who loves you so. No, you don't know me. You don't know me. For I never knew the art of making love, though my heart ached with love for you. Afraid and shy, I let my chance go by, the chance you might have loved me too. You give your hand to me, and then you say goodbye. I watched you walk away, and then I wanna cry. You never, never know the one who loves you so. No, you don't know me. You don't know me.
That's by request for Joe Shacatano. They're slightly off center. I saw that either I need to get a bigger center piece for my 78, so that hole is a little bit too big. Anyway, the Four Fellows there, Jimmy McGowan on lead, September 1956. Their version of the tune You Don't Know Me, but You Know Johnny G on Saturday night. Spin only original vinyl 45s. We are in the year 1956. Here's a request for the doo-wop couple Ron and Dorothy Feba. This group from Harlem, New York, they have this one release on Joe Davis's JD record label. 2 members of this group, Cleveland Still and James Miller, would later team up with the bass of the Five Wings. His name is Thomas Gardner, and Richard Blandon to form a group called the Marvels. They have a great release on the ABC Paramount record label. They would in turn become the Dubs that recorded for George Goldner's Gone label. But this group is called the Scale Tones. The Scale Tones, that's where Cleveland still got his start. And it features Don Archer on lead. I'm going to send this one out to the doo-wop couple, February 56, the Scale Tones on JD. It's called Dreamin'. Wait. Yeah, Dreamin' and Dreamin'. I thought I wrote Dreamin' and Schemin', but it's Dreamin' and Dreamin'.
Chooby-dooby-wop. Chooby-dooby-wop. I'm dreaming and dreaming. Dreaming night and day. Dreaming of my little girl that went away. She's not so good looking, built from the ground. Every time she walks, my love comes tumbling down. I'm dreaming and dreaming. If you ever had a dream, you know just what I mean. She wrote me a letter, says that I'm on my way. I need your loving, need it right away. She arrived this morning, had on a long black gown. When my dream was over, what no girl could I find. What a dream, what a dream. If you ever had a dream, you know just what I She wrote me a letter, says that I'm on my way. I need your loving, need it right away. She arrived this morning, had on a long black gown. When my dream was over, what no girl could I find. What a dream, what a dream. If you ever had a dream, you know just what I mean. What a dream, I'm telling you.
February 1956 release there for the Scale Tones. The Scale Tones. Interesting name for a group. On the JD, Joe Davis's JD record label, song entitled Dreamin' and Dreamin'. Johnny G dreaming and dreaming of 45s in his sleep. At least they're not nightmares. But anyway, well, they are nightmares if you end up spending a lot of money on 45s, which I have through the years. But let's continue here. We stay in 56 with another flip side from last week. Played a request for George Tompkins by the Dungaree Dolls. It was called Boy of My Dreams, rare girl group 45 on the Rego label. Let's give us a spin to the intended A side of the 45. They're called the Dungaree Dolls. This one from July 56, the Dungaree Dolls on the Rego label. It's called Little Wallflower.
I know they're whispering about me. I don't care what they say about me. I'll see while they talk about me. They're calling me Little Wallflower, while all the other girls are dancing. You find me dreaming of romancing. I can see from the way they're glancing. They're calling me Little Wallflower.
What are they whispering about there, those girls on that record? Dungaree Dolls there, July 1956 on the Rego record label, a song entitled Little Wallflower. This was re-released in 59. I also have it on that other re-release, Karen Records, as the Dungaree Darlings. I think a slightly shorter version, a little bit changed, I think. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here. And here is another request for the doo-wop couple. They want to hear this group from Roxbury, Massachusetts. You know their biggest hit in 1961 came out on the Terrace label. It was called I Understand, which is probably my least favorite song by this group. But they have some great sides on the Pilgrim in Paris and also on the Terrace label that I really like. Now, Ron and Dorothy requested the group's second of two on Jack Gold's Paris label. It features Ray Gibson on lead. We go back to May 1957. These are the G-Clefs. The G-Clefs on the Paris label, and their tune called Zing Zang Zoo.
Baby, 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 baby. Zing zang zoo, means I love you true. Zing zang zoo, means I really do. Zing zang zoo, means I care for you. Baby, baby. Yes I do. I need you, sweetheart. Yes I do. I need you, baby doll. Yes I do. I need you, baby doll. Oh, I need you and I want you. I've got to have you here by my side. I can't stand it living without you. Baby, won't you come and be my loving bride? Zing zang zoo, means I love you true. Zing zang zoo, means I really do. Zing zang zoo, you're my baby doll.
That's going out to the doo-wop couple there, the G-Clefs. G-Clefs, May 1957. Ray Gibson, he's the lead singer. That one there on the Paris label, song entitled Zing Zang Zoo. I have that on a 78. Plays pretty cool. Actually, that's styrene. You know I hate styrene 45s. They wear out every time you play it. They got some great records. I know my aunt liked Cause You're Mine is one I really like on the Pilgrim label. Sitting in the Moonlight's a nice one they do on the Terrace label in 1962. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45s as we continue here. And last week I opened up the Vinyl Treasure Show with the Silhouettes, their follow-up to Get a Job. It was called Headin' for the Poorhouse. And listener Daniel Kubacki, he sent me a request at vinyltreasures@aol.com. He requested the B-side to their big hit Get a Job, which first came out on a K. Williams Jr. label. I was going to feature it on that label, but it's got a scratch. It doesn't play well. My Get a Job plays okay, but not the flip side. So I negged it. That's it. Just reneged it on that. But anyway, when Dick Clark started playing it on American Bandstand, the record started taking off. So if you check out the Ember release on the Get a Job side, you'll see Wildcat Music, which was Dick Clark's publishing company. They added that in. he wasn't going to play the record anymore unless he wasn't, he wanted his share of the money, Dick Clark. So he wasn't really squeaky clean, as they say. He was involved in really a lot of record companies and pressing plants in the Philadelphia area. But January Music was one, Wildcat Music. He had a couple others also. But he's on that, and that's why that Heading to the Poorhouse never made it, because they said, we're not going to put you on that. And he didn't play the record. But anyway, that's his Wildcat Music on the Ember label that I'm featuring. But anyway, this is going out to Daniel. It features Bill Horton on lead. This is the B-side to Get a Job, November 1957. I'm playing it on the Ember label, The Silhouettes. It's called I Am Lonely.
I'm lonely. I don't want to be lonely, 'cause I dream of you only all night through, the whole night through. I'm lonely. Will I always lonely, because you left me only, left me sad and blue, dreaming of you, dreaming of you. I don't want to be lonely. I don't have to be so lonely when I find you. When I find you. I don't want to be so lonely when I find you. When I find you.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Shredder Show. That's my best playing copy of that. I've 10 copies of Get a Job by the Silhouettes. I found one that plays pretty, at least the B-side, that plays really nice. That's going out by request to Daniel Kubacki there, the Silhouettes, the B-side to Get a Job, November 1957. Featured it on the Ember label. I Am Lonely is the name of that one. Originally came out on the Junior label, and for you collectors out there, if you're looking for the Junior release, it's supposed to be the maroon label. True First Presses should not have records under the logo of Junior, because that is like a later press. Anyway, Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here, and the Nutmegs would leave Al Silver and his Herald label in 1957, and they returned to New Haven, Connecticut, where other members decided to just go their separate ways. Now, Marty Kugel, owner of the Click label, wanted to record Leroy Griffin and the Nutmegs, but because of contractual obligations, he really couldn't use the name Nutmegs, so they became the Rajas. I think they added some new people to the group to release this one. I'm featuring the B-side to this release on Marty Kugel's Click label, written by the lead singer, Leroy Griffin. Let's go to November 1957. The Rajas, a.k.a. the Nutmegs, on the Click label. It's called Shifting Sands.
Ba 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 do up, hum dee doo up, ba you
Ba ba do hum you ba you ba ba do hum you.
Shifting sands
kisses just turn sand to sea. Shifting sand, tell me that you're no mirage. I'll give you my caravan to gaze at the stars. Desert land, burning out our misery. Your tender kisses just turn sand to sea. Shifting sand, tell me that you're no mirage. I'll give you my caravan to gaze at the stars.
Out of New Haven, Connecticut, those are the Rajas, a.k.a. the Nutmegs. November 1957, Marty Kugel's Click label, song entitled Shifting Sands, and that was the B-side of the 45. There's some later pressings on the Click label, some a cappella recordings by the Rajas that were eventually put out. I don't know how many, 3 or 4 I think I have by the group. Johnny G here for Saturday evening as we continue here. Back to Baltimore, Maryland we go for this group that first recorded on the Jax label, JAX Records, as Bobby Hall and the Kings. And when Hall left, they became the Kings. I think the 4 Kings, there was some variations in the names. But Adolphus Holcomb, he became the new lead singer of the group. Releases followed on different labels: Gotham, J-Lo, J-Wing, Looky, Epic, RCA, and here's one I'm playing on George Goldner's Gone label, co-written by the lead singer Adolphus Holcomb. This one from September 57. These are the Kings on Gone. It's called Love is Something from Something from Within. Sorry.
I know what it is to be in love with someone who's not in love with you. Remember, my friend, love is something that's from within. It keeps you worried with falling tears, wondering, my friend, can this love be real? And remember, my friend, love is something that's from within. Why should we worry about such strange things as long as stars are in the sky? Why should we worry about such strange things? Well, it's all should abide in you, then let His power just carry you through. And remember, my friend, love is something that's from within. Now go home now and dry your tears and go for something that's real and remember my friend, love is something that's from within.
Whoops. Those are the Kings. Those are the Kings on George Gollner's Gone record label. That's not an easy record to find. September 1957, Adolphus Holcomb on lead. Love is Something from Within is the name of the tune. They later recorded as Little Hooks and the Kings. You know that song, Count Your Blessings? I like that record. It originally came out on the Little Hook label, which is Styrene, and then Chess put it out. That's a good song, too. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, excuse me, have another flip side from last week as I played Cleo and the Crystaliers. They were from Brooklyn, New York, and their resung version of Please Be My Guy that came out on George Gollner's Cindy label. Let's flip the 45 over, give a listen to the ballad flip side. Features Cleo Baker on lead. This one from 1957, Cleo and the Crystaliers on the Cindy label. It's called Don't Cry.
When a heart fades away, that heart is there to stay. Don't cry, he's gone. Yes, he's gone. When a tear falls from your eyes, then you know it's goodbye. Don't cry, he's gone. He's gone. Hearts have been broken before. Only to join again. Your love has turned around. This time, this is the end. When a tear falls from your eyes, then you know it's goodbye. Don't cry, he's gone. He's gone. Hearts have been broken before. Only to join again. Your love has turned around. This time, this is the end. When a tear falls from your eyes, then you know it's goodbye. Don't cry, he's gone. Don't you
Sounds of 1957 here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Cleo and the Crystaliers there on the Cindy label, George Gollner's Cindy Records. Don't Cry is the name of the tune. Cleo Baker, she's the lead singer. She was also the lead singer of the Fawns that recorded on the Apt label. If you know that song, Until I Die, great tune by that Fawns Group. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening, digging on the cool 45s that I'm featuring here tonight. I hope you are, but let's stay in the year 57 for a group that was originally called the Love Notes, and they had this lone release on Joe Leibowitz's premium label, but when Danny Robinson, who was promoting his Love Notes group on the Holiday label, they had starting to get a hit with that tune United. He slapped Leibowitz with a lawsuit, and Premium was forced to change the name of the group, and they decided on the True Loves. And my copy has like a typed in sticker pasted over the printed name, the Love Notes. It's a great two-sided 45. It's not easy to find. It features David Haywood on lead. He also wrote this song. It's from 1957. It's on the Premium label. My copy has a sticker that says The True Loves, and the song is called A Love Like Yours.
Well, now we're a lovely pair. No more troubles, no despair. We're a lovely pair. I sometimes wonder how did we meet on some lonely street. We're a lovely pair. You're so sweet, no you can't be beat. A love like yours is really your real. When I die without you, darling, that's no lie. Never say. And I always dream about you. Because you're so true. We're a lovely pair. You're so sweet, no you can't be beat. A love like yours is really your real. When I die without you, darling, that's no lie. Never say. Well, I always dream about you. Because you're so true. We're a lovely pair.
They were called the Love Notes. They had to change their name to the True Loves, 1957 release on Joe Leibowitz's premium label out of Linden, New Jersey, a song entitled A Love Like Yours. Johnny G here, spinning original vinyl 45s. Last week I featured a rare one on Steve Samuel's high-tone label by a group called The Lyrics. It was called I'm in Love. It was listener Daryl Letts asked if I could play the flip side this week before we put it back down in the no humidity basement. So we're going to send this one out to Daryl. The group is called The Lyrics. This is the intended B-side from 1957. High-tone records, The Lyrics with You, parentheses, ooh-wee.
When
Let's send that one out to Katie. She has a website on the actually has a YouTube channel called Vintage and Vinyl. You got to check out. She likes that tune, that rare tune by the Lyrics. You parentheses Ooh Wee is the name of that one. 1957 on the High Tone record label, Steve Samuels High Tone Records. Let's continue here. We move into 1958 with a request for listener Nikki Vinciguerra. Gotta say hello to Nick. It's been a while, Nick. Used to tune in way back when I first started here on Top Shelf Oldies, but he sent me a couple of requests. Hope all's well with Nick. He wanted to hear this song on Bill Lassley's Amp 3 label. That's the same label that the first press of the Dan Lear's One Summer Night came out on. This group is called the Miamians. The Miamians, Miamians, and maybe they are from Miami, but let's send this one out to Nikki V, August 1958 on the Amp 3 label, the Miamians, with the tune. It's called Call Me a Coward.
Our wedding day last Sunday was planned with a honeymoon. The bride was waiting at the church, but they couldn't find the groom. Call me a coward, but I wanna be free. We've had our little quarrels, we had our share of bliss. I never dreamed I'd come to stay, I would ever act like this. Call me a coward, but I wanna be free. Then I was so free. When I left her at the altar, I know I broke her heart. Someday she'll meet another guy who can pick up from the start. Call me a coward, but I wanna be free. But I wanna be free. But I wanna be free. But I wanna be free.
That's going out to Nikki V, the Miamians there, August 1958 on the Amp 3 label. Song entitled Call Me a Coward. That's one, one of the thousands of labels that Johnny G collects. Have a number of releases on the Amp 3 record label. You may have the Empires. You have that one, the Zippity Zip, which is a cool record. The flip is nice too. The ballad, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue. We are in the year 1958 now. Here's another one for the doo-wop couple. They requested a 45. I think it's pronounced Mira or Myra, M-I-R-A. How do you pronounce that, George? M-I-R-A. Anyway, I have no information about this group, but they're called the Four Trumps, and they're doing a song that was first recorded by the Jubilaires on the King label way back in 1947. So maybe there's some connection with the members of this group, and maybe they're re-recording it. I don't know, but they're known as the Four Trumps. This is for the doo-wop couple, March 1958. It's on Mirror Records. It's called I've Waited All My Life for You.
Waited all my life for you. All my life for you. Cross my heart and swear it's true. Oh, it's true. And I start my love away to give to you today. To give to you today. I've waited all my life for you.
waited for you.
March 1950. That's a pretty nice sound, I'd say. A little bit of kind of a popish vein, but I like that. The Four Trumps there, the Four Trumps on the Mira. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or Myra or Mira. I know when I play my 60s, Randy told me Mira. It's like you're looking in the mirror. Anyway, that's March 1958. The Four Trumps going out to the doo-wop couple. I've waited all my life for you. That's what I tell Barbara. As we continue here on the on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and I featured a group called the Elgins on last week's show on the MGM record label for Ron and Dorothy. It was called A Picture of You. They also requested the flip side. I did a little bit of research on this one today on the writer credits because they wrote both sides of this 45. They are Arthur Anderson, Willie Wiggins, and William Perkins. Now, Willie Wiggins and William Perkins, they were members of the Inspirations on the Apollo label that recorded Raindrops and Just for a Day. So maybe there's got to be some connection between those two groups. Anyway, but I never was able to find any information on this group, but let's give it a spin here. The Elgins from June 1958 on the MGM label, and the flip side of A Picture of You, it's called Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle, you are the one that I've been waiting for. You are the one that I adore. Though we're oceans apart, Mademoiselle, you're so very well. It's you, baby, I don't have to tell. I love you, Mademoiselle. I shall remember like an ever-glowing ember. On that sweet night of bliss, our throats could not resist romance. Mademoiselle, now you know so very well. It's you, baby, I don't have to tell. I love you, Mademoiselle. I shall remember like an ever-glowing ember. On that sweet night of bliss, our thoughts could not resist romance. Mademoiselle, now you know so very well. It's you, baby, I don't have to tell. I love you, Mademoiselle.
Those are the Elgins there. Those are the Elgins on the MGM record label with their tune called Mademoiselle. June 1958, a great two-sided 45. Got this out of the record library of WPEP. Lots of records out of that library in Johnny G's collection. I'm teasing you guys in the YouTube chat room, showing you pictures of 45s that I'm not playing tonight as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And we are in the year 1958. We go out to the West Coast. This record is out of the San Francisco Bay Area, and it's pressed on awful vinyl, so I have to warn you in advance on how this one sounds, but it's similar to those releases if you collectors are familiar with records on the Skylight label by Ida Valentine and Leo Valentine and William Wigfall and the lyrics. But I think this record was released prior to those on the Skylight label. The books have this as 1963. Ferdy is totally wrong with that. This is not a 1963 release, and I say it's more like 1958. The A-side of this is kind of a novelty answer tune to the Olympics Western movies. It's called I Don't Dig Western Movies. Now, why would they even release that in 1963? It doesn't make any sense at all, but I have no information about this group. They're called the Tiffany's, and I have to apologize in advance for the sound quality because it's pretty bad, but it's a rare record. It looks pretty decent, but it doesn't sound well. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes. It's 1958. They're called the Tiffany's. It's on the Rockin' Robin label. It's called I've Got a Girl. I'm telling you, the wax is horrible. That's how they play. Were they like handmade these records out in some of the Bay Areas there? The Tiffany's, that's the name of the group, 1958. It's on the Rockin' Robin label. That's even a song from 1958. And the style of the label, it would not be 1963. And Ferdy Gonzalez is wrong. The Tiffany's there with their tune called I've Got a Girl, another rare 45 as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We're playing records out of the year 1958. We do it chronologically here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go back to Harlem, New York. Now, according to Louis Silvani, this group initially recorded as the Sparks on the Hull label back in 1957. Then in 1958, they became the Lollipops with this release on the Universal International label, which is how I have it. Now, 6 months later, this record came out on the Holland label, but the true first presses are on Universal International, whatever that means. But anyway, it's Ronnie I actually used this song as one of his themes to one of his shows on one of the stations. I forget which, but that's the first time I heard it. Let's go to May of 58. These are the Lollipops. I have it on Universal International. It's called Believe in Me.
Believe in me. There are things I
said to you, dear, is true.
I have been so lonely, thinking of you only. Why did we have to part? If you will awaken, you won't be mistaken, for you have the key to my heart.
Believe in me. I've tried so hard to make you understand. Though you doubted my love, dear, I've done all I can.
I have been so lonely, thinking of you only. Why did we have to part? If you will awaken, you won't be mistaken, for you have the key to my heart.
Believe in me. There are things I want you to know. Dear, I am not pretending when I say I love you so.
May 58 release there. They're called the Lollipops. The Lollipops called Believe in Me. That one there is on the Universal International label. You can also get it on the Holland label. If I find it on the Holland label, I'll bid on it. I will. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, here's another flip side from last week on Ray Dobard's Music City record label. I featured the Clicks. They're from Richmond, California. I played the side called Elaine, and the label design on the Elaine side is the flat black label with the silver print and numbered 823. But the flip side is a shiny red label with a multicolor logo numbered 817, which is really weird. But anyway, let's give it a spin here. From October 1959, these are the Clicks, Klixs, on Music City. It's called This Is the End of Love.
This is the end of love. What more can I be guilty of? This is the end of love. Oh, yeah. This is the end of love. No sound of tears. This is the end of love. Darling, hope you'll be there. Oh, no, no sorrow, no sin. Oh, our heart will wait. This is the end of love. No, darling. This is the end of love. This is the
That's on Ray Dobard's Music City record label there. Those are the Clicks, Klixs, IXS. October 1959 release, a song entitled This Is the End of Love. As we continue now, we are in the year 1959. I got two more 45s to go for that year. And we stay with the flip sides from last week's Vinyltreasure show. I featured the Fairlanes out of San Francisco, California. Came out on the Continental label. The song was called Writing This Letter. Featured Ramona King on lead. It was listener Daryl Letts that requested we give a spin to the flip side, which was she also wrote. So this is going out to Daryl. August 59, the Fairlanes on Continental. It's called Playboy. That's going out to Daryl Letts there. That's the Fairlanes. Ramona King on lead. August 1959 on the Continental record label. The flip side of Writing This Letter, song entitled Playboy. Let's continue. Last one here out of 1959. It's a request for Nat Papagallo. He requested this group from Charlotte, North Carolina. They go way back to 1945 with their recordings. They signed with Capitol Records in 1950. Had a ton of releases. They also backed up Nat King Cole on several of his Capitol sides, and in 1954 they had their biggest hit, a song entitled I Get So Lonely, on the Capitol label, but they left to sign with Coral Records in late 1957, and Nat requested their sixth and final release for the Coral label. It features Cliff Holland on lead. This is going out to Nat from April 59. These are the 4 nights on Coral. It's called Where Is the Love?
Where is the love that you and I once knew? Where is the love that was meant to be true? When did we lose the magic of a kiss? Where are the arms
Must I forget the joys that we once have shared? Must I forget the joys we shared? And just recall all of the times that you once cared. Must I recall the times you cared? Can we now find that love will not pass by? Where is a love you said would never die?
As going out to Nat Papagallo, he likes the 4 Nights there, April 1959. I wonder if that's their very last single. Totally last single on the Coral label. Where is the Love? The Love is right here on the Vinyltreasure Show every Saturday from 10 to midnight. Let's continue here. We move into 1960 with another flip from last week. I played the B-side of this by a group called The Blends. Their first release on the Casa Grande label was a ballad, the B-side. It was called Someone to Care. I remember... I purchased the 45 for this side. It features Big John Croft on lead. Go to August 1960 now, Casa Grande Records. These are the Blends with their tune. It's called Now It's Your Turn.
I love you, baby, since long ago. Now it's your turn to love me forevermore. I love you, baby, until the day I die. I love you, baby, since you were sweet 16. Now it's your turn to be my teen queen. I love you, baby, until the day I die. I asked the stars above, ooh, took my love. Now you've gone away. Won't you come back to me today? I love you, baby, since long ago. Now it's your turn to love me forevermore. I love you, baby, until the day I die. Oh, I asked the stars above, ooh, took my love. Now you've gone away. Won't you come back to me today? I love you, baby, since long ago. Now it's your turn to love me forevermore. I love you, baby, until the day I die.
That group called The Blends. The Blends, they're from Brockton, Massachusetts. First of two On the Casa Grande label, Big John Croft, he's on lead, August 1960, The Blends with Now It's Your Turn. We are almost in Vinyltreasure overtime as we continue here. And we go back out to Los Angeles, California for a request for George Tompkins after Don Julian and the Meadowlarks left Dootsy Williams and Dutone Records. Don went on for some solo releases for a little bit, but then in 1958, he reformed a new Meadowlarks group. He signed with Art LeBeau's Original Sound record label. George requested their second of two that came out on Original Sound. Again, the song written by the lead singer, Don Julian. This is going out to George. September 1960 on Original Sound Records, Don Julian and the Meadowlarks. The song is called There's a Girl.
There's a girl who's in love with me. She is my one and only love for me. Her love is like a lump of gold, hard to find, but so precious to hold. I love her, I love her, God knows I do. For every lonely heart, there's a love that's warm and true. Somewhere in this world, there's a girl who's in love with me. She is my one and only love for
like that one there in the YouTube chat room. Don Julian and the Meadowlarks. That's going out to George Tompkins there, September 1960. That's their second on Art LeBeau's Original Sound label. A nice sound there called There's a Girl. We are in Vinyltreasure overtime now. As we move into 1961, we go back to North Carolina. We go to LaGrange, North Carolina, for this group called the Corsairs. They consisted of three brothers, J. Moses and James Uzzle, and their cousin George Wooten. And you know their signature song was a big national hit. It was called Smoky Places, but that was their second release. Let's give a listen to their first, which features J. Bird Uzzle on lead. This one from July 1961, the Corsairs on the Tough label. It's called Time Waits. Does it?
For no one, and a night like this can fly so fast. So don't waste a moment. But to waste a moment would be a sin, for no waste, and our time for love is here at last. If we let it go, will we ever know what might have been,
Soon the glow of morning
snow. Then we'll walk as lovers
in the golden dawn.
Wait for no, wait for no, and for us, my darling, the time is now. Wait for no, oh my darling, oh my darling, love me. If you ever love me, the time is now. The time is now. Don't waste it. Don't darling, don't waste it. Don't waste it. Don't darling, don't waste it. Don't waste it.
Yeah, those are the Corsairs. The Corsairs there, that's their first release. Actually, that might be the B-side to their first release. The Corsairs, July 1961. Time Waits is the name of that one. Came out on the Tough record label. J. Bird Uzel is on lead, as George mentions in the chat room. You got to correct Johnny G with the pronunciations here. There's so many the way people pronounce their names. You got to hear it to really and spell it out phonetically, as I mess up all the time. And you're going to need you guys to correct me as we continue here. We are in the year 1961. Here's another request for Joe Shacatano. I played this song about 6 months ago on my January 18th, 2020 show, but that was before I think Joe found out about the show. But there are always the archives. They're always there in living color. But this is a rare 45. We're going to hear it again out of Hollywood, California. The group reminds me a little bit of the Innocents, the same group that backed up Kathy Young. But this song features Vic Marino on leads. This is going out to Joe from May 1961. They're called the Gentones. The Gentones on the Casino label. It's called, parentheses, Thank You For Me, City Lights.
She walks by under you one of these nights. If you see her, thank her for me. City lights. If you see her, tell her that I understand. Will you thank her for giving the warmth of her hand? If you see her, thank her for me. City lights. I have no regrets and no sorrows. I have known an angel from above, and I guess I'll live until tomorrow, thinking only of her love. If you see her, tell her that I understand. Will you thank her for giving the warmth of her hand? If you see her, thank her for me. City lights.
That's going out to Joe Shacatano, the Gentones there. May 1961, it's on the Casino label. This is a West Coast label out of Los Angeles, California. I Thank You For Me, in parentheses, City Lights. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we move into 1962. We stay out in California. Another group out of Los Angeles came out on Sid Talmadge's Highland label. The group formed while attending Manual Arts High School in Los Angeles. It features, if I say it right, Finis, Finis Petway on lead. He co-wrote this song with his brother, Herman Petway. This is actually requested by my Florida listener, Nat Papagallo. It's a great tune here, November 1962. The Precisions on Highland. It's called 8 Reasons Why I Love It. Did they leave out the U? But it's called 8 Reasons Why I Love. That's what it says on the label. There you go.
8 reasons why I love you. I do. 1, you are my destiny. With your pretty brown eyes, 3 kisses sweeter than wine, and because you're so fine, yes you are. Oh, I idolize you, like the dream of a lifetime. I'll get on my bended knee and beg you to stay with me. We could make it in life. Me as your husband, you as my wife. Oh, we'll have a good time, and you'll always, yes, you'll always be mine. Oh, you're such a good lover. Yes. And you're always on my mind. Won't you stay with me forever, forever, till the end of time? Reasons why I love you. I do.
As by request for Nat Papagallo, great tune there. They're called The Precisions. November 1962, 8 Reasons Why I Love came out on the Highland label with Finis Petaway on lead. And George mentioned in the chat, in the YouTube chat room, that sounds a lot like the Individuals on Sparrow Without Success. I have to agree. Lots of that record sound like that Sparrows, Individuals 45. As we continue, here we are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. We are in the year 1962, and on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured the Versatiles, this Versatiles group out of Phoenix, Arizona, on a Floyd Ramsey's Ramco label. Played the up-tempo side. It was called Blue Feeling. That featured the lead of Wilford Johnson. The flip side is an excellent ballad, features the lead of Homer Gray. We go back to December 1962 on the Ramco label, the Versatiles, and their tune is called Just Pretending.
yes, I always will. Because when I'm pretending, darling, you love me still. I'm pretending.
Yeah, they're liking that one there in the YouTube chat room. The Versatiles, December 1962, came out on the Ramco record label. This group out of Phoenix, Arizona, Just Pretending. Homer Gray on lead for that one. As we continue here, we are in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Here's another request for Joe Shacatano, and I hope Joe is okay. I know he was going in for some surgery, I think on Monday, but I don't think he's actually on live. So Joe, I hope you are doing okay, and we wish you a speedy recovery. Everything is okay. And I got another request for you here. He requested the Fabulous Four, this group on the Melick label, which I'm pretty sure this is not the same group that recorded on the Chancellor label out of Philadelphia. And I can tell you, I can't tell you much about this release though, but it's on Melick Records, which is out of California, arranged by Maxwell Davis. Maxwell Davis had a big part in the California music scene back in the 1950s. So this is a request going out to Joe from August 62, the Fabulous Four on Melick Records, and the tune is called Welcome Me Home.
My darling, I'm writing this letter just to say that you'd better be ready to welcome me home. So near, I'm begging you, dear, be ready to welcome me home. For I've been away forever and a day, so it's stay away, 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 away. Still dream, 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 my dear, dear, dear. Though I've been such a fool, I'm hoping that you be ready to welcome me home. Be ready to welcome me home.
As by request for Joe Shacatano, the Fabulous Four, August 1962 release on the Melick record label. Song entitled Welcome Me Home, and hopefully Joe is home after his surgery earlier in the week. So want to say wishes to Joe as we continue here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Now on last week's show I played a request. Actually, I played the Wanderers, Ray Pollard and the Wanderers, a request for the doo-wop couple called There's No Greater Love. Now, Ron and Dorothy, along with listener Daryl Letts in our YouTube chat room, requested the flip side of the 45, which I will play. Originally came out on the Cub label, then nationally on MGM Records. So I'm playing my Cub release here, which is on a promo with the great Ray Pollard on lead. Go back to May of 1962. These are the Wanderers on the Cub label, and their tune's called As Time Goes By.
You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. As time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say, I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings, as time goes by. Time goes by. Whoa. Moonlight and love songs, never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman needs man, and man must have his mate. That no one can deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by. Time goes by.
That's for Daryl and the doo-wop couple there, the Wanderers, Ray Pollard and the Wanderers. That's the B-side to There's No Greater Love, a song entitled As Time Goes By, May 1962 on the Cub label. Let's continue here with some more, and another request I played for Joe Shacatano last week was by the Four Graduates, a group from Paterson, New Jersey, who would be later on become the Happenings in 66, I think, or late 65, recording for BT Puppy with Bob Miranda on lead. Now, Joe requested the intended B-side. It was called Picture of an Angel. It was Daryl that requested the A-side, and I think East End Mark, one time you requested this song from me, if I'm not mistaken, by this group, the Four Graduates. Let's go back to April 1963 on the Rust label. These are the Four Graduates with their rendition of the tune, A Lovely Way to Spend an Evening.
This is a lovely way to spend an evening. Can't think of anyone as lovely as you. This is a lovely way to spend an evening. Can't think of anything that I'd rather do. I'd rather do my thing. I'd rather do. This is a lovely way to spend an evening.
As going out to Darrell Letts, April 63, the Four Graduates, Bob Miranda, and the Four Graduates on the Russ record label, A Lovely Way to Spend an Evening. Hopefully it's a lovely way to spend an evening with your host, Johnny G, every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. here on the Vinyltreasure Show. Let's continue here. I'll be, spinning records between 62, 63, and 64. Some requests intermingled here. Let's stay in 63 and head to Newark, New Jersey, to Joe Evans' Carnival record label. This gal had 2 releases on the Carnival label. Let's give a listen to her first. She co-wrote this tune with the label owner Joe Evans. Her name is Barbara Brown. I like this tune. Barbara Brown on the Carnival label. It's called Send Him to Me.
Someday he will come along. Someday, and he'll be big and strong. Someday he will come along. Come along. Someday he'll come along. That man I love. Someday he'll come along. That man I love. Oh Lord, won't you send him? Won't you send him to me?
Send him to me.
I'm tired of being lonely. I'm tired of being blue. I'm hoping for a miracle, and that miracle must come true. Oh Lord, won't you send him? Won't you send him my way?
Send him my way.
Oh, I'm so lonely. I'm so blue. I need someone to love me, someone who'll be true. I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, please. Won't you help me, somebody? Help me, somebody. Won't you send him to me? I'm so lonely. Won't you send him to me? I'm so lonely. Won't you send him to me?
That's a great tune there. Great tune by Barbara Brown, 1963. First of 2 she had on the Carnival label, Send Him to Me. I think the flip is good on this, too, as we continue here in Vinyltreasure Overtime. Let's head to Chicago, Illinois for this next group. It's on Lenny LaCour's 620 label. I think this group is another group. I just didn't get a chance to check it out, but they're called The Uniques. The Uniques here from 1963. It's on the 620 label. The name of the tune is called Pretty Baby.
Pretty, pretty baby, look into my eyes. Pretty, pretty baby, what's the reason why? I love you so, I love you so.
you so.
I love it.
No, 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 I can never let you go. Oh no, my dear. Oh no, please come back, my darling dear. I need you here. You know I can never let.
They're called the Uniques. Are these the same Uniques that did the Silvery Moon on that? I can't remember the label. Maybe they are because they're from Chicago. They must be the same. Excuse me, the same Uniques. 1963, Pretty Baby, the name of that one. High Falsetto. I don't know who the lead is. It's on the 620 Liqueurs 620 label. Brian Korn. How did you know that was Lenny Liqueurs 620 label? Anyway, Johnny G here in Vinyltreasure Overtime. Up next, a request for Chuck Staton, listening in Las Vegas, and I think Las Vegas or the state of Nevada, at least the state of Nevada, I know that's right. But he requested this group from Brooklyn, New York. They came on the scene in 1961 on the Belltone label. You know their tune, My True Story, plus other wonderful recordings. But in 1964, they signed with United Artists. Here's one they did on Otis Pollard's Sketch label. And this is a cover song. This, of course, was first done by the Love Notes on the Holiday label back in 1957. But let's give a listen to this one, arranged by Horace Ott. This charted number 6 on WWIN in Baltimore, Maryland. This is going out to Chuck Staton. It features Eugene Pitt on lead, October 1964. These are the Jive 5 with their rendition of the tune United.
Together we stand, divided we fall, together in love,
or no love at all.
we are united, together we'll be, forever we'll stay, till eternity. This love will stay in every way. From now and days to come, we are united, you and me. I'll keep you happy. Just you wait and see. Every star in the sky is a token of true love. For the moment seems like it, but I'm glad, yeah, just to see. Love is real. This is the way all lovers should feel. The more I roam, I found a new home, and our hearts beat as one.
Together in love, my darling. United. Or no love at all. United. No love at all, my darling.
By request for Chuck Staton there. Those are the Jive 5, Eugene Pitt and the Jive 5 with their cover of the Love Notes tune United, October 1964 on the Sketch label. I also have that one on the United Artists label. And that was my 10-cent purchase, that Sketch 45. We are in Vinyltreasure Overtime. Up next, a request for George Tompkins as we head to Syracuse, New York, to David Ransom's Ransom label, as this 45 also came out on the Hammer label, which I need. I know George probably had it on the Hammer label, but I need it on the Hammer label with the flip Get Married in June, because I don't have that record. But anyway, this tune written by the lead singer, Roslyn Allen is the lead singer on this. This one from November 1962. This is going out to George. The Bell Larks. The Bell Larks on the Ransom label. It's called A Million and One Dreams.
I've got a million and one dreams I wish would come true.
I've got a million and one dreams wish would come true.
I've got a million and one dreams, and they're all for you.
I've got stardust in my pockets, moonbeams at my feet,
a handful of hope, and that's what I need. Yes, I've got a million in one dreams for you.
I'll climb the highest mountain, I'll swim the deepest sea.
Only if I knew that you would be waiting on the other side for me.
I've got stardust in my pockets, moonbeams at my feet,
A handful of hope, and that's what I need. Yes, I've got a million in one dreams for you.
I've got a million and one dream. I've got stardust in my pockets. I've got a million and one dream.
As by request for George Tompkins, the Bell Larks from November 1962. I featured it on the Ransom label. I need it on the Hammer label. A Million and One Dreams. That's a cool tune as we continue here on the on the Vinyltreasure Overtime. Here's a request for Pat. I'm sure it's too late for Pat. He's going to have to listen to this on the archive. Hopefully he'll be able to hear this. But he wanted to hear this group from Queens, New York. It's on the Laurie record label. The members consisted of James Davis, who previously recorded with the Sunbeams on the Herald and Acme label, Alfred and Ernest Seaman, Clayton Williams, and the lead singer, his name is Al Mickens. Collectively, they were known as the Orients. So this is by request. This is going out to Pat. This one from January 64, the Orients. The Orients on the Laurie label, and their tune called Queen of the Angels. That's going out to Pat there, the Orients. The Orients on the Laurie label, January 64 release, Queen of the Angels. This is also out of the library of WPEP. I tell you, I've got a lot of good records out of that radio station. This group later recorded as the Gents on the Times Square label, but that's a cool tune. Johnny G here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. Let's head to Columbus, Ohio, to Phil Gary and Nick Curla's Olympic label, and this group is called The Drakes. The Drakes here, it features KL Jet on lead, and believe it or not, this record came out in 1965 on Olympic Records. They're called The Drakes. It's called I Made a Wish.
I made a wish a long, long time ago. I never thought it would come true, but that's because I didn't know what loving you can do. I made a wish at a wishing well one lonely summer night, while all the world was under the spell of stardust and moonlight. All around me lovers, they walked hand in hand, but I walked all alone, and my heart just couldn't understand why I had no one for my own. Now the years have passed, and the wish I made, it finally has come true. For now we join the lovers' parade, and I walk hand in hand with you.
What do you think about that one there? 1965 for the Drakes. The Drakes out of Columbus, Ohio. It's on the Olympic label. It's called I Made a Wish. As we continue here, we start to wind down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go to Brooklyn, New York. We've been to Brooklyn quite a bit tonight. This group has two releases on Eddie Singleton's Keith label, and here is one that Eddie Singleton, the label owner, co-wrote. It's their first of two on the Keith record label. This is actually, I played this in my test when I was testing records, and I prefer the flip side of this, but Nicky V, he was watching, and he asked if I could play this record. I said I would play it for Nicky, because it's an okay novelty tune, I think it is. So we're going to send this one out to Nicky Vinciguerra. This one here from June 62. They're called the Matadors. The Matadors, it's on the Keith label. It features the bass lead of the group. His name is, Harold Bass, I'm sorry, is the lead. And these are the Matadors on Keith. It's called It Ain't Nothing But Rock and Roll.
Let's shimmy and shake, a quiver and dip. Let's rock and roll. All night long, let the Cupid go. While it's in our soul, we can twist, a whistle, but it ain't
That's going out to Nikki V. Nikki V there wanted the Matadors. June 1962. It's on the Keith record label. They're singing all kind of like all those oldie songs they're mentioning in the title there. But that's going out to Nikki. It ain't nothing but rock and roll. That's what Johnny G features here every Saturday from 10 to midnight as we continue here on the on the Vinyl Treasure Show. 2 more 45s to go before we sign off here. And this one here, this next group had a big hit back in 1957, originally on the XYZ label and Cameo nationally. You know the song, it was called Silhouettes. But here's one from 1964 on the Amy label, written by Bob Crew and Charlie Colello. He also arranged the tune, Charlie Colello. I think, Reed, you may have requested this, or Charlene mentioned this one in the chat room, so maybe you did request it. So we're going to send it out to you anyway. It features Hal Miller on lead. We go back to February 1964. These are the Rays on the Amy label, and their tune is called Love Another Girl.
Love another girl. Love another girl. Love another girl. Can I love another girl? I try to love others, but I compare them all to you. From you I never will recover, because I know I'll never love another girl. Love another girl. Wonder what happened to us. Oh, wonder what did I do wrong? What did you do wrong? Try, cause breaking up is hard to do. But nothing settled than goodbye, because I know I'll never love another girl. Love another girl. Another girl, love another girl, love another girl. No, I'll never be able to love another girl. I got one girl on my mind. I wanna tell you it's you.
That is by request for Reed King, who is in our YouTube chat room. That's Hal Miller and the Rays, February 1964 release on the Amy label, Love Another Girl. I hate those styrene 45s. Should have saved that one for when I do a special show, all styrene 45s for Brian Korn. And I'm going to play one of those. I'm going to do one show, all styrene records, and get my most hissiest 45s for that. Is Johnny G losing his mind here? That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Been recording this one for my YouTube channel, so you can check it out. If you missed any of the show, you can go back and look at the labels. A lot of people like to look at my 45 labels, but anyway, you can do that. You can also go to my website, vinyltreasures.net. You can download the shows. You can stream the shows there, but you can do whatever you like, but they're there. A lot more shows. I think they go back for a number of years, and also on the YouTube also. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed the tunes. We're going to close tonight. A request for George Tompkins for this group called The Vows. I think they have other releases on the Stas set, which I have, and Big 3 Records. I don't know about that one, but this one's on the Randy label. It was produced by Andre Williams, and it's from April '63. The Vows on the Randy label. It's called Girl in Red, and that's our closer. It's going out especially to George Tompkins. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Please tune in tomorrow evening to Top Shelf Oldies and Dave the Rave and his Relics and Rarities show, beginning at 9 o'clock, 9 to midnight, right here on Top Shelf Oldies. And all the shows during the week on Top Shelf, beginning at 8 p.m., most of them. We do have Rich Sabello. I think he's at 5 o'clock, I think, on Tuesdays. But lots of shows here on Top Shelf Oldies. I'll be back next Saturday for my All 60s show. It's the last Saturday of the month, so that means it's going to be all records from 64 and later. So those of you that enjoy my group harmony and doo-wops, you're going to have to tune in a couple weeks. I'll be back with more of that, more of your requests. Everybody have a safe and happy week. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. And again, we'll just see how this all pans out eventually. We'll all be back to a norm, hopefully soon. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I had a blast. So everybody have a safe and happy week. I'll see you here next Saturday on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
I woke up this morning sad and lonely. Woke up, got out of bed, and searched the whole day through. Searched the whole day through, looking for that girl in red. Last night at the party, her smile left me hoping, but when she departed, I felt so misled. But I'll search the whole wide world, search the whole wide world, looking for that girl in red. To have her and hold her in my arms so tight, to love her and kiss her all day and night. I love that lady in red. I must be crazy and out of my head. Wish I knew just what to do. Oh, tell me just what to do. I've searched the whole wide world. I said I've searched the whole wide world, looking for that girl in red. Oh, my poor I'm looking for the girl in red. Oh, my poor I'm looking for the girl in red.
Okay, folks, that's going to do it. I missed this lead singer here. Charlene did put it down here. I missed it. Larry Montgomery. He's the lead singer of this group called The Vows. A good song, and like Reed says, distortion on styrene. You know, some of these Randys did come out on. I have a number of records on this Randy label. Joyce Hennedy, I think, is styrene, but I have other ones. They do another record, I think, their first one. I think I have two by The Vows on this label, and I think that's a nice hard vinyl copy. But anyway, thanks, guys, for sticking around here. I enjoy playing the records for you. I really do. And I wish I didn't have this cough. It's with this humidity, I think. But anyway, thanks a lot for sticking around. Hope you really dug on the tunes tonight. And I really enjoy playing them here. Really, I really get a lot of enjoyment from the records. Hopefully you guys do too. But again, I'll see some of you in 2 weeks. I'll see some of you next week. So again, stay tuned to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Again, good night all. Stay safe. Adios. Bye-bye.